Okay,
And you want to
So-
find the same way
so Harlem Township Division of Fire.
Yeah.
And then my.
Well, yeah,
by Congress.
Harlem Township Division of Fire with your name.
Mhm.
And then,
Oh, that's right. It's gotta be real.
and then your address, the full
And
address.
they said, let there be light.
Yeah.
What? There was light.
But that's-
You don't think this is enough
So
work
somebody,
I've done?
so somebody can read it. You just hit buttons to do that.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's all I do. Easy peasy.
Easy peasy lemon
Just gonna
breezy.
notarize this.
Me?
Okay.
Carl, I figured out how to get the Zoom links on the calendar
I'm a
for you.
notary now.
Aren't you excited?
That stupid training they made us. do
Yeah,
in
I dropped
background.
mine after 30 years. I dropped mine. So I'm not doing it.
You can tell by his reaction.
I wasn't doing that enough anymore. I'm, not in the store, but my daughter-in-law does it over there.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, it's what.
He's like, I said, we can do that. And I'm like,
Ridiculous,
me, really?
crazy thing.
And I figured it out. Somebody should be excited. That's what I told Matt Kurz last week. I think it was, I said, I figured out how to do that. Somebody should be excited. I don't know who, but somebody should be. He's like, I'm excited for you. And I was like, thanks, Matt.
But Genoa paid for it, so I was like, okay. And then I took Genoa time to go do all of it. I was like, okay.
Can't go wrong with that. Was it a written test they made you take?
No, they just had me do classes on a computer
Okay.
after my background. Then I had to do my pay everybody and get the background.
Scott,
Thank you.
we got something for free from this guy?
I didn't.
Thank you, sir. Is it blue pen? Oh, does it?
Email.
Those are neat.
You're not coming? No, I'm not going to Delaware.
I
You
still.
put Del, I said wrong location. No, I'm not going for tonight.
All right,
That's why I denied you.
all right. I
That's
didn't-
cool. I've got one like that
You
too.
didn't-
I didn't catch
That
the
neat?
problem.
All right.
I did that.
Keep that in my truck.
Yeah, man. They're handy.
How you been?
Good. How you been?
The guy's on there and he wants to,
Why?
he like 20 acres in that area.
Yeah.
He's
Hey, let
gonna
me.
put in a variance to get.
Consolidated. what
to build a-
That's right.
He's had to mention to me, we have to put parking underneath those tower fence.
Parking,
Parking.
Parking maybe.
you might be able to get away with parking.
He's, I'm gonna tell him, it's all AP, but I know that happened to know.
Yeah.
But
You did, yeah.
Well,
Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order, please.
Okay. Well, maybe I didn't.
Big gavel.
We used to have one. Years ago, we did. Thank you for coming this evening. I'd like to join me in the pledge, please.
Congratulations. To the flag of the United States of America. And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you all for coming this evening. I'm going to be jumping around here a little bit, so Kendra's going to try to keep me in line. I'm a little rusty with this position here. It's been a while since I've been doing this. So we have Dave absent. We have Scott Belcastro here this evening to talk about aggregation on the gas, correct, Scott?
Electric and.
And
Electric
both,
and gas.
okay, so if you explain where we are, please.
Roll right into the fire.
Yes,
Right,
sir.
Very good.
Get you in and out.
All right, well, we do have, my name is Scott Belcastro from Trey Bell, and tonight we do have just a couple things that we need to review, the energy markets, electric and gas. I apologize, it's a lot to review, but there has been, the markets are moving extremely quick at this point. And so I don't control the market, I just get to react to it. And that's what we're doing. I've handed out to the trustees this form right here. It's just a historical on the natural gas prices. For those of you who can't see it, just the takeaway from September of 2022, the price of natural gas was at about 91 cents per CCF. Today, this afternoon, it was trading at 25 cents. So just think about how fast this market is wrecking right now. And so it's created some buying opportunities for us that we're gonna, hopefully take advantage of this evening. For those of you, I don't know if you can see it, but here, this is a gentleman, this next one with the long tail on it. All this is the price of natural gas. You can see from like 2018, it's very flat, very, very flat. Not much variation month to month, year to year. And then this is pre-COVID and through COVID. And what I want trustees from you to take from that is, why am I standing here today before you? You look at this from here at 91 cents and a complete drop all the way down. So it's gone, threefold down in a very short period of time. Last piece of the puzzle here is this is a more shorter term period, 2 weeks, call it. And all I'm trying to get my point is with this is, look at the volatility here. It's up, it's down, it's up and down. Literally, I can come to see you one day and say, we're ready to close. It's 20 cents. Okay, well, let's look at it. And a couple of weeks later, we'll get back. No. By noon, it's 50 cents. All right. It's unlike anything we've ever seen. So we're just trying to add, I think one of the messages I'm trying to get to your residents as well as the trustees here is that we need to be faster on our feet, and we need to give some stability to the residents, and the timing could not be better. Number one, of the energy management agreement that we have between Trey Bell and Harlem, it's the one that we've been using for a long time. I have amended it, and the only thing that I've amended here is section 3, letter D. Just wanted to read this to the group. Appoint Trey Bell as client attorney in fact to execute, file, or record any documents necessary to accomplish and facilitate the exclusive services set forth in section 3. And then what that's giving us, the eligible customer list. It's something that AEP makes us get every year. Got to get that, coming to find you guys for it is ridiculous. It's just an administrative function. We want to be able to do that for you. You guys are a governmental aggregator. Every 2 years, I got to get your certificate updated. No problem. But I got to find somebody, and then it needs to be notarized. I find that getting this notary, because nobody does notary, you got to go to your bank, and maybe if it's your bank, they'll work with you, but
We got one.
yeah, you got no one in here. But we got Scott Raffeld now in our office who can do it. So it just keeps things a lot easier.
Mhm.
The last piece of the puzzle is just simply on the attachment in the very back. And all that does is give us the ability, let's just say that we have a program and we need something signed and you got, we've contacted you, we've discussed it. We can move on that program more quickly. I can sign with your approval. Yes, Scott, you can go ahead and sign it on our behalf
Yeah.
versus me, missing the opportunity
Mhm.
and then having to come back here and maybe it's still there, maybe it's not.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of guesswork out of what we're doing as a group here. Okay.
Mhm.
So this evening I am asking for a motion to approve this new one, new agreement, and it does include the letter of authorization. So for example, when I sign that eligible customer list, I don't give them this whole agreement. I just give them the authorization. That's all that is.
Could you explain to the public what the numbers are, Scott?
The
So
numbers.
The rates. that
Yes.
We're approving.
Okay, well, this is for Trey Bell, so this isn't an approval of anything yet, other than our
Okay.
agreement
Okay.
and the ability to do these functions for you.
Okay, so there's no rate lock tonight you're asking for?
I'm getting there right now.
Okay. All
There
right.
you go.
Okay.
You've always been an overachiever and I appreciate that. So on the natural gas piece, we've had an agreement with Archer. Archer, we had smartly had a provision in there. Last year, I told everyone I thought rates in gas was gonna come down because I thought it was being held up without merit. And it did. So we wrote a variable rate from the high down to the low. But what I did is I put a provision in there that said we can change it from a variable rate to a fixed rate at any point in time.
Hmm.
That's this trigger right here. So tonight, the natural gas rate that I'm proposing for Harlem Township at 0.599 for CCF for the remaining of your term through March of 25. That's what the original agreement was. 599. And that is a fixed rate. And I'll just say that I just read an article in the Wall Street Journal, which I agree with. It kind of echoed everything that I felt. And they're saying in the short term here, next couple months, we're going to see rates probably stay around where they're at. And then by, call it mid to end of the year, we think rates are going to be super volatile again. Lots of reasons I won't go into. I'm happy to forward that article to you. You can put it on your website for anybody to read.
Be good.
Feel free to use it, but it is from the Wall Street Journal.
Okay.
So 599 on the natural gas.
Okay, what was the previous?
But it was variable, so it was following wherever the price of gas went.
Okay.
And now, again, we smartly went with that because I knew rates would come down at some point. I didn't know when, but we wrote it down. It's time to lock it in. All right, now the thing that's going to be most shocking to everybody, I'm going to move to the electric program that we've had for a while. You guys have been with Energy Harbor previously and still. So Energy Harbor has given us a rate, I think it was in the 4 cents a kilowatt hour, if I remember right. You guys have been saving a ton of money on that. If you guys know, look at your bill at home this is only applicable to AEP Ohio residents. If you're with the cooperative, you stay with the cooperative. But we were in the upper 4s. The utilities rate's been in the low 7s, high 6s, which means you guys are saving almost 2 cents a kilowatt hour. I mean, lots of money back into this community through that difference. Come June, and this is important. Come June, the utility AEP Ohio's rate is determined by 2 auctions, one last November and one March coming up. The first of 2 auctions was 45% of the electric, and it settled at $119.98, I believe. It implies a rate just shy of 12 cents a kilowatt hour. I know, I see some of the faces here, really? Like as if we can take more. The good thing is the March auction should hopefully bring it back a little bit, but I'm guessing settling out somewhere in that 10 cents a kilowatt hour. Tonight, I bring you a program to get us through this next year or, with that against the utility, our rate would be 7.08. So 7 cents a kilowatt hour. Versus the utilities 10 cents. All right, so that's gonna be another like whatever, 3 cents a kilowatt hour off of the utility. This rate and the utilities rate starts in June 1st. So they're gonna start simultaneously, and you will see the rate on your July bill. You flow the first time in June, and you'll see it on your July bill. So I'm anticipating somewhere around 3 cents a kilowatt hour less than the utilities rate. And again, this program doesn't even start till your other program ends, and it's beginning in May of 23, okay? To summarize, and I'm done. Thank you for everybody. If anybody has questions, please ask now. Anyone? Everyone's just angry about pricing. I get it. We have 3 things, just motion to approve the new energy management agreement with Trey Bell. Motion to approve the natural gas conversion with Archer Energy. And lastly, motion to approve the Energy Harbor electric new rate, the amendment for that. Those are the 3 items that I will need a motion for.
Okay, well, I'll need you to go back over there, because I was not, didn't know, I don't have any of the agenda, so I need to know what these items are.
That's no problem. I'll help you.
Okay.
You right now, or do you want me to go over there and work with you separately? So they,
Right now, we'll take them one by one.
We'll just do them one by one.
okay, let's do it.
Okay. First one you said was the energy something.
Energy management, energy consulting and management agreement.
Well, for a motion to
So moved.
approve. Motion made and approved. Second, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Second one is the amendment to the Archer Energy Agreement to fix the rate. Amendment to the Archer Energy Master Agreement to fix the rate.
Motion.
So moved.
Motion made and second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 And last piece of this is the master agreement with Energy Harbor.
So moved.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All right, I'm gonna grab some signatures real quick and then I'm done.
Thank you.
And I do appreciate all of you. Anybody has questions, I believe you can find my company's number, toll-free number if you need help on our website.
So sorry, you said the electric should be 0.7 what?
0.599
Eight.
And the gas again?
per CCI. So,
Check that, because I don't.
Yeah.
Can I make a copy of that too?
you bet.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Gonna walk these guys through it. Here it is. Since I have the floor, there's no early termination fee as always. You can come and go as you like. And
That's the only needs one of our signatures.
you just have to call Energy Harbor.
I've got,
Letters,
that's the
both
same one.
programs will go out in roughly 15 days-ish, 20 days. They'll hit the mailbox, so. if you
I got it.
Start to see these letters in the mailbox, just know that they're there, and they don't have to do anything to be included.
Okay, that's that one.
That's the energy.
Right.
harbor.
Okay.
Did
he also sign?
You want me to sign?
No, we're good.
Jerry signed that one.
Yep. Can I have this? Sure. Thank you.
I don't see any place for signature on this one.
It's okay, here, Jared, this is, you sign that one,
Yeah.
Jared Paul.
Yeah.
And then you just need to sign on it.
Underneath.
Okay.
While he's doing that one, I'll have him do
Okay,
this.
that's the other one. Okay.
Over in here.
Check my electric. 'Cause I don't-
Send it over to me so I can look at it for you.
I think I'm paying 12.
No, it should be John's.
I'll double check.
It's the thing, yeah, it's- Just like the old days when you were the board president.
Yeah. Trying to forget. Was it 15th?
Dave's getting this all the time.
Yeah. Hmm.
We need to make copies so we have them for the friends.
Good. Absolutely. We'll make sure we do.
I don't think I have to come for. I'm creating a file. Yeah, you are. I like that. Right, me too.
All set? Thanks, Scott. Okay, if no other questions for Scott, then we'll move on. We have recognition for Sherry Steele, who's not here, I don't believe, this evening, and also one for Matt Kurz, also not present. So Holly, I think we'll get you up there next. Report on the strategic planning program.
Thank you. Just wanted to come and give you a quick update on where we are with the strategic planning committee and the quick strategy guide. As you are aware, we just finished our series of 10 community meetings. We had probably almost 400 people in attendance over those 10 meetings. Very successful meetings, receiving a lot of positive feedback from them. Also prepared it ends up being a 1-hour video of the slides from that meeting with the voiceover of me presenting it, just similar to the way I did it at the community meetings, and that's on your website now, indicating that the plan is in draft form, but this is what it's proposing. We will be having a public hearing tomorrow night by the zoning commission to review that draft plan. And then once they make a recommendation regarding that, it'll be coming to you as the Board of Trustees for a public hearing and a final action on it. That will set it as policy in whatever form it ends up being when it reaches you. And then at that point in time, we'll move forward with getting the overlay zoning adopted in accordance with the plan. So a couple other things I wanted to make sure you're aware of. We are getting calls after calls after calls regarding potential development. I'm getting some, Jim's getting a lot. I did hold a meeting. Several of your staff was at that meeting as well with one of the housing developers that wanted to understand more of what the township was looking at. So we explained the quick strategy guide in its draft form to them. And then also received a phone call from AEP. So we're going to be meeting with them soon to learn more about some upcoming projects that they have.
Sure.
So I wanted you to be aware of that. And then the Licking County Transportation Improvement District did put out their preliminary findings on their MS Consultants traffic study. It was just in the newspaper over the weekend and the dispatch. Most of the roads are going to 2 to 3 times what they are today. I want them to look at the Harlem Township stuff again because I did not see where they put your future land use into the build out 2050 build out. So I want to make sure that that's reflected in there because that will ultimately determine, especially Fancher Road, the width of what that needs to be. And we need to make sure we're setting buildings back far enough to allow for that future expansion.
Do you have a time frame when it's going to get to us?
I'm hoping in March.
In March, okay.
Mhm.
All right.
That would be my goal.
All right, good. Okay. Got a lot of positive feedback from what you're doing. I think it's.
Thank you.
uh,
It's a lot about education and
Yeah.
helping people understand
Yep.
and providing recommendations that reflect the character of the community. So I'm glad that we're able to do that and get that positive feedback.
Good job.
I'd
Thank you.
just like to make note, Holly and the entire strategic planning committee. We need to give them 7 times praise over. That group has really put a lot of effort into developing something that is, I think myself personally, quite unique and going to be, a lot of people are going to be looking at it potentially
Mhm.
for their plan.
There are other people in other communities that have contacted me since that video has gone out.
So Just-
So,
a couple of you are here, Jim, everything you guys are doing is just fantastic. Holly, thanks.
Yeah, the whole group. I mean, we wouldn't be able to do it without the whole group.
No,
so.
absolutely.
That's right.
That group is.
Um,
phenomenal.
Yeah, and I did have one more thing I did want to run by you guys. The communications subcommittee would like to do a follow-up survey and a newsletter. To one, at the follow-up survey to the initial one to see what the viewpoints are now that they've seen this presentation versus what they were back in August.
Yeah.
And then the newsletter, just to recap what we said at the meetings, just so people, again, just to hit people again with understanding what's coming their way and what the recommendations are. So the committee is proposing two things. One is the actual printed newsletter that they would like to send out to everybody, whether they're on the email list or not. They thought it would be good for them to get that printed copy. And then also the ones that are on the email would get the email version as well. And then possibly also a mailer, like we did with the other meeting and with previous meetings, but have a QR code on there to send them to the survey. That's just survey specific.
Mhm.
They think the more that we can touch people in the mail and get the word out, the more, support and understanding we're gonna get through the whole process.
Yeah.
I can tell you the mailers, when we've done them, have been running around $13.50 to do that. The last one, actually, the $13.50 was the cheaper one where we didn't send it to people on the email list. So it may be more closer to like $1,500 if we send it to everybody. I don't have an estimate on a newsletter, and I couldn't really ask my printer to give me an estimate because I don't know how that's gonna format, how many pages it's gonna be. So, but the communications committee would like to ask for you guys to move forward with that as quickly as possible. So I didn't know if there was a way to get funding approved for that up to a certain amount tonight and then let them work on that.
I was gonna say is, do we have an up to amount that would cover that? Because one thing I will say, in all the meetings that we had, the group meetings, communication.
Mhm.
The folks, the township, appreciate the fact that we're trying to do the communication. And it was interesting, the mix of the email and the hard copy. I think for this particular thing, it probably would be best to hit both again.
I can say from a year ago experience, 6 months ago, 6-page newsletter was a little over $2,000.
Oh, that's not too bad then.
So that's what our printer that we
Okay.
used
For
our-
charged
For a
us.
township.
So I would say if you said up to 5, we would be very comfortable with that. 4 would probably but if it's 1,500 for the mailer, probably 4 would get it.
Can we, do a business account with them? So we can be tax exempt, because last time there was tax that we paid on that end.
You can pay them directly, yeah, instead of me getting reimbursed.
Exactly, then they can bill us, we'd be tax exempt and.
Be fine.
The only
We're gonna
problem,
be using them.
the only thing that you have to be aware of is the reason why I did it the way I did it was because they will not mail it out until they have a check in their hands. So you can't, I wanted to get it out to get it in time for the meetings, which is why we did it the way that we did it. But if,
Shouldn't be a big issue, should it, Lisa? I mean,
Well, no, but we need to make sure that we're taxed.
right. But I'm saying as far as
Yeah.
getting a check in there, just as soon as we.
As long as 2 trustees are in town, they can do it.
okay, all right, so we don't have to wait for a meeting.
Nope.
Okay, all right.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion, we say, not to exceed, just do 4,500, we'll split the difference.
I think so too.
Okay.
All
I
right,
think that should cover it, Holly.
Okay.
I'll second the motion. Any other discussion? If not, I'll motion stand
That was,
approved.
Approved.
Okay.
Great,
All right.
and I'll work with Lisa to make sure we're getting the tax exempt thing.
Who's gonna do the mailer
The subcommittee and I will work together, to make sure we're getting that out.
with the printer? I mean, who's the printer?
I use, Leader Printer out of, Greenville,
Okay,
and they've been very, very cooperative and helpful and really gotten it out. in a
okay.
good manner. So I like them.
I
Neater?
mean, they only maybe need.
Oh, leader.
are sales tax exempt. Maybe we don't need to set up a business account. I have no idea.
Right.
Yeah, so the one check, the one check to the post office, that probably doesn't have tax on it. That's probably just postage. So that's the one that they won't send out. They won't send the mailer until they have that check in their hand. So I'll see if that one, if I can write that one, that probably wouldn't have tax on it. And then setting them up for tax.
But just work with.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Get it done.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Any other
Thank you.
questions for Holly? While she's here?
And I'll see you
Okay.
Tuesday.
It's good. Thanks,
Will that be the last meeting, Carl? Will that be the last?
The last meetings that we've done, this is the meeting with AEP.
Okay.
I
So we're
I'll have myself.
finished with the other. all the
Yes,
other
yeah, we
tasks.
did the last meeting
Okay.
was,
Good.
we go Tuesday,
Yeah.
we go Tuesday.
Yep.
Okay, thank you, Holly.
Thanks, Holly.
Roger Nybarger. I saw you back there.
Wow.
I will say on the plan that's coming forth, I think it's very good for a township. Very good. I think it's well thought out, and I'm here tonight representing the Harlem Township Heritage Group on a couple things, unless you have more. One thing I want to bring your attention, and Carl knows this from experiences a few weeks ago, most of the ground fault receptacles in the park are dead. Short and nice have been cleaned up and fixed before the Harlem Township days. As progressing, we are 2.5 light years ahead where we ever been. We've got things pretty well set up already for the Harlem Township days. But what I'm here primarily for tonight is we have started working on this, talking about this 1.5 years, or maybe even longer back. Some of us have mentioned a farmer's market in the township. Now, I know the strategic plan shows a farmer's market, but I'm also wise enough to think it's probably several years down the road. It was not presented, whether it's a private, public, private enterprise, or whatever it is. But what we propose is to have a farmer's market on one night a week for about 5.5 months, beginning in May and through into sometime in October. On Thursday night, 3 or 4 hours. We've already invested a lot of time in figuring out that this is something we want to do, and it's something that the committee wants to do for a township. Now, as far as interfering with the strategic plan, our thoughts is, and there's a couple other members here that'll probably back me up on this, is that if we get a farmer's market set up towards going gangbusters on one night a week, and you've got a 4 or 5 or 6 day building that you want to institute, we're going to suggest our people go to you. We'll just turn it over to that enterprise. We're not trying to compete or shut down the strategic plan at all. But we all know to get a fresh tomato, you got to drive 8-10 miles to get it. And we just heard about the volatile gas prices, and that goes with automobile gas too. There's people in township probably starting to hurt. That might be able to come to a local farmers market and not be quite so severely hit. We've talked over many things, and we're not 100% there yet. But before we get much more time invested into it, we want to come in and ask trustees' approval to use the park for that purpose. Right now, our thoughts is probably set up on the west end of the park because of parking. We'd like to put it out here along 605, but I don't think the front parking lot is big enough to have people coming in on a routine basis, turning around. And I think it's far safer to take it out back. We'll probably use Thursday nights. We have last year or so been using Thursday nights as our food truck night. We want one to feed the other one, back and forth. Questions?
I'll start off. As far as the strategic, I think the confusion or the concern there was the advertising. We wanted to, and it was handled quite well, I think, in the way you guys did it. And that, this is you, this doesn't have anything to do with the strategic planning committee. I think that was the concern from the committee itself. Myself personally, I think it's an excellent idea because if nothing else, down the road, and I hope it's 7 years, but I doubt that it's gonna be 7 years because things are moving so fast, Roger.
Yes.
You know, if somebody has already started a farmer, it's gonna make it easier to sell and to move with, we've already got this base. One of our homegrown organizations is doing it already. We'd like to merge it into that. So I think for myself personally, and as a trustee, I think it's an excellent idea.
We have sent out a survey through our cost of contact list, and as of this afternoon, we've had 25 replies. One of them was negative, and I understand why. It came pretty much from the committee. We had one that said, "Do we really need two?" The confusion
That was the
was
confusion.
the two farmers market. And the other 23 was positive, and now the 23, there's 21 people wants to attend and buy, and 2 wants to sell. So it's a pretty good start. There's all kind of ways to set farmers markets. I've been involved in them. 20 years ago, I was doing 6 of them a week. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. There's all kind of ways to set them up. Our thought is to set it up to where there's the most accessible. And for you to have a choice of 15 different tomatoes like you do at Kroger's instead of just 1 or 2.
Have you thought about how you're gonna charge for it, or are you gonna charge?
We have thought about that, and it's, we're gonna charge the same thing we do for dues for the organization, which is 0. With the caveat, our paperwork has said the vendor fees this year is $0. If you want to contribute to the organization, we're more than gladly take your money. Gary and Carl, I think it's best for us if we're going to set something up brand new to make it to where somebody don't have a $20 a night fee to start with.
My concern is advertisement, to get that word out. How do you plan to do that if you don't have any dollars to operate with?
We are working on that aspect of it. We've got a couple leads. A lot of it's going to be just constant contact and word of mouth.
Roger, I'm sorry. The past working with the Heritage, just throwing a suggestion out. Have a donation bucket. If people want to donate, and you know how it is, especially when it's the HTH, people seem to come forward.
We have,
And if somebody has a bumper sell out of all their products, they might throw, it might be $5, but I think a donation might be something for you guys to consider.
over the years, Carl, we have seen that, Joan, I think you agree with me that we do better on donation basis than charge.
You made more money. I know with
On vendors.
my involvement with the noodle dinner, when we went from charging a fee to donations, the money went up. So, donations seem to be a good thing.
But we'll have that in our paperwork,
Yeah.
just that, because everybody asking. When I participated in quite a few of them, I've seen people be there 1 night or 2 nights, not come back. Because they made $3 for 3 hours
Exactly.
and gave an organization $25 for $15, whatever it was to set up.
Yeah.
We don't want that. This is a service for the community and not only for buyers, but for those who want to grow.
Put my name on the market.
I'm sorry?
Market. I want information about.
I don't do tomatoes.
Right?
And we'll probably rely on you two to help us to get advertising out.
I'll help. Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Second Thursday, you're free. Second Thursday, 7:00 here.
Yeah.
Here's a-
Okay.
Ed, go ahead.
In the past, we've had requests from, for instance, a young man who wanted to make bracelets, little charm bracelets, and sell them for charity in the park. And in another instance, someone came up and was selling homemade cookies and lemonade. And in each case, they were advised not to do that. Would such an individual or individuals be welcome at the farmer's market?
In our rules and regulations. I hate to use that terminology. Because I hate rules and I hate regulations. But no, we have to have some, we will be very specific as far as, what we allow. We do not allow, will not allow flea market items or clothing or anything like that. As far as what's sellable at farmer's market, there is a state approved list. And I would consider that a craft myself, if some of them making a bracelet. They want to set up a table and sell the bracelets, that's a craft. That's no different than macrame or somebody building a birdhouse. And I would encourage the kids to do that. I really would.
All right, anything else?
I think most of us, at least, I know I walked these township roads a lot of times when I was a kid selling garden seeds and all kinds of things.
So many rules and regulations now, if you do homemade food or.
There's certain things
makes
that,
it impossible.
Health department.
there's certain things that we have to forbid, cream pies, we can't put cream pies out.
Yeah.
Meat and eggs, we probably won't allow any meat and eggs unless they go get a very special license from the state, and it's very specific. As far as refrigeration and so on and so forth. So especially this first year, we'll stay away from that stuff.
Okay.
We'll wait until you get your building built.
And then start charging all the people that were getting it for free.
That'll
Okay,
be on you.
thank you, Roger.
Do we have your approval?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion, we approve HTH
I'll-
to do their.
I'll second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you, Phil.
do.
I'll
Thank
sit
you.
down, shut up.
Lisa, you're up.
January bank reconcile, appropriation status and ledger reports are up to date. Approve the following minutes, January the 18th, regular minutes. January the 20th, reconvene regular trustee meeting minutes.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes.
January 18th.
Yeah, January 18th.
Okay.
And January 20th.
And, you want to do them both?
We'll combine them since it's a
Yeah, it
reconvene.
was reconvened.
I'll second the motion. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay.
And then approval of the warrants and vouchers, warrant number 12801. Oh, wait a minute. Warrant number 12757 through warrant number 1201. Voucher number 9223 through 17/2023, total amount $189,157.28.
Call for a motion.
Real quick, Lisa, did you mean 12801?
She did.
Which one?
You didn't say 801, we knew what you meant.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Okay, so moved.
12801, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
moved.
motion approved, seconded, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay.
And then approve the 2023 permanent appropriations in the amount of $5,995,062.55, retroactive to January 1st, 2023.
So moved.
Second, I'm gonna call for a roll call vote on that one.
Roll call, Richardson,
Aye.
Paul,
Aye,
Jackson's absent.
motion approved.
Next one is the annual purchase orders and blankets and sheds in the amount of $2,740,915.52 effective to January 1st, 2000.
So moved.
I'll second, roll call vote, please.
Richardson,
Aye.
Paul,
Aye,
Jackson's absent.
Approve the transfer of unencumbered money from the township's general fund to the township's general capital outlay fund. Can we read all this?
no, just the amount.
350,000.
Okay, you explain that so people understand what that is. Please.
Taking it from a general account to a capital account is like saving it. So we're just moving money. We got it in the general, we're moving it over to a capital, and it's for like the maintenance building, it's for dump truck.
Future,
major
future
purchase,
expenditure.
future. And it could be years from now,
Yes.
but we need to start moving money.
Okay. Any questions on that from anybody? Okay. Just want to make sure everybody understood what that is.
So moved.
Second, roll call.
Roll call, Richardson,
Aye.
Paul,
Aye.
Jackson.
Approve the 2022 permanent appropriation amendment for the 350,000 to the general capital projects fund.
So moved.
Second, roll call.
Roll call, Richardson,
Aye.
Paul,
Aye.
Jackson's absent.
Approve the new credit card user Thomas O'Brien to have a 2,000 limit per month. First Commonwealth Bank credit card.
So moved.
Second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Approve the bond for Michael Cannon for the. I don't know what I should.
What- That's a transfer bond,
Transfer bond.
from Matt
From
to
Matt.
Director of
Mike,
Zoning and Development,
and it's paid,
transfer.
we paid for that, so we don't have to, there's no other charge.
Correct.
So moved.
Second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right. That's it for you. Okay, we have, last meeting, we had an issue with the charges from to SREI. Mike, the charge for SREI on their application fee, we had set the new fee earlier that day. We didn't get all the information at the time we opted to give them the old rate because we didn't think the sequence was as it was. So long story short, we agreed to go with your recommendation to charge the newly established fee. So that we're rescinding that motion that we did in that meeting. Okay, so we'll rescind it. And I don't think we need to call for another motion on it since we're just rescinding the other.
Well, we need to, I make a motion that we rescind it.
Okay, I'll second. All in favor, signify by saying aye on that one.
There it's covered.
So just to confirm, they did get charged a new rate, correct?
Correct.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, good.
They are aware. of that.
Okay. Yeah, we didn't understand all that, how that transpired until later. So once we figured out what was really happened in the sequence, we decided to go with your
They
recommendation
both
on.
happened on the same day.
Yeah, same day within hours.
1 o'clock or something.
Yeah.
Ours was at 7.
Okay, so we're good on that then, okay? Approval to update the employee agreements to follow the ROC 124.38, 123.1-34-09. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. The sick leave policy pursuant to ORC 145.01. Need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second, all in favor signify by saying aye. Okay, approval for purchase and installation of emergency warning system and radios. Did I skip?
Yeah, flip it over. Let's see.
I'm on.
On top of the page.
Approve for purchase of
Page
Adobe.
over. Turn page over.
All right, which page?
Adobe
This page?
Acrobat.
That's executive session. I knew I was gonna be in trouble.
Here, that one. Right there.
Okay, there we go. That was my page 4. I thought, okay, so approval for purchase of Adobe Acrobat.
So moved.
What is Adobe Acrobat again?
Adobe Acrobat is a program to help us build forms that they can fill in online, or that as we receive for documents and paperwork and stuff from developers or whatever, they use this and we can interact more freely with them. And
For zoning and
for zoning, for fire.
website, fire.
I mean,
Okay.
We can also do some limited multimedia production with it. There's
Okay.
all kinds of things we can do.
Okay,
And this is
Okay.
on top of, I just learned this evening that like zoning commission has a license, so this is on top of that. This would be additional.
Okay,
This
all right.
is a business pro edition
okay.
to make it more interactive for what we're looking at doing.
Charge $22.19 per license per month. 5 license minimum, $131.45. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I'll second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Approval for Triano drywall to repair the water damage. Have we seen an estimate on that?
Yes, it was $1,741. And it was sent to you gentlemen, and it was sent to the insurance company. The insurance company has already issued us their portion of the payment. We would have $1,000 deductible, so we would be responsible for $1,000 of that, and they issued a payment for
Okay, now that's on the interior.
That's for the.
Okay, have we had the roofers up yet? No, on the outside?
Scheduled a couple of times with the roofers, and of course, then we have snow, ice, wind, rain, storms whenever they're supposed to come. So we won't put a roofer on our roof under those circumstances.
Gotcha.
So we've had to reschedule with them.
Okay. So I'll call for a motion on that, Carl.
So moved.
Moved, I'll second it. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. And when will they start? Any idea?
I'm supposed to let him know in the morning, and then we'll get on the schedule.
Okay. Okay, good. All right. Shane Neff then is to talk to, you talked to him, the electrician, about the removal of the security light out back.
He has come and looked at removing it and seeing it and everything. He told me today that he should have the quote to us by Friday.
Okay, so we'll table that till next meeting. Okay.
AEP is I'm meeting with them also next Tuesday.
Good,
at the
Carl,
park
Park, good.
to deal with that,
Yes,
get a light taken care of.
Okay.
My understanding from talking with Kendra, and that's what I thought, they'll put the light up and no charge, and then just bill us monthly.
Yeah.
For the usage.
okay, good.
The monthly fee will range depending on, there's 3 different lights we can choose, and the monthly fee would range from $10 to $30.
Will there be an LED type
That's what I'm
one?
gonna shoot
Yeah.
for.
I think so. You're the man for that, Carl.
Carl.
Yeah, he's the man.
Have that.
Yeah,
I did it for a couple of years.
I think so.
Question,
Yes,
what light are we talking about?
The pole light back at the back parking lot that hasn't worked for years.
There's a monthly fee for that?
Well, right now that light belongs to us that's up. And the cost of getting that fixed versus having AEP come in, provide us with a light, and then they'll just bill us for the monthly usage, the monthly electric.
I see.
and that's for every,
They maintain it.
they
If it
maintain it, right?
breaks, damages, burns out, whatever, AEP, it's their light.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, Chief O'Brien.
Good evening.
you-
As of last week, we've had 33 runs so far to date. 76% being EMS and 24% being fire. We have noticed in the last week or so that we're starting to get busier. Several more runs a day now, it's starting to pick up, and as it gets warmer, that will continue. First thing I have for you this evening is approval of the fire lieutenant job description revision. We're looking at our personnel and promotion and what we expect from them if we promote them. So I went through and revamped the job description. Lieutenants in this department are basically lower level managers. So in that job description, it's the more managerial tasks versus some firefighter tasks. We also put some stipulations in, if you guys approve this description going forward, to be a lieutenant, you will have to meet these qualifications that we have to clear anything up. So this is what you need. We do have a provision in there that if we don't have enough qualified candidates or whatever, we can go outside. We do have provisions for that in that job description as well. So
Okay.
we hope to be able to do it internally, but things happen.
Is there a time frame that they have to accomplish those levels then, or
Some of those have to be done prior to their eligibility to be a lieutenant.
prior to?
And
Okay.
some things, such as fire inspector and instructor, we will encourage them afterwards. They'll have to go get those.
Okay. So you're looking for a approval
For the update.
for the job description update, which is resolution 23-0215 Tom -013. Hear a motion?
So moved.
A second, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
The next resolution fell to me because the firefighters were the ones that had asked for this. In Ohio Revised Code, there's a stipulation for a deferred compensation plan that can be, well, actually must be, if it's requested, established. We went through some discussions. Lisa and I sat down and talked about it. I know she's done background on paychecks to be able to take it out and what will be involved. So this would also be open to basically any township employee. It's not just firefighters. If anybody else wanted to, that's eligible to do it, they can join it. So I'm asking to adopt resolution 23-0215T014 to adopt a deferred compensation program, and then Lisa and Kendra would be the designees that could do what needs to be done to get the money and get people signed up and whatnot.
okay, so it is strictly optional,
This is
not
strictly
required.
optional. It does,
Okay.
there's no matching from the township.
Yeah.
It's all if the employee wants to have $25 to pay, put into a deferred compensation account at the state. They sign it up and then they make it happen.
Okay, and they invest that, I think, in
Yes, they will. Yes,
like a 401k,
pretty much.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Call for a motion.
So moved.
Second, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, next we have our new station vehicle. And it's been striped. This vehicle will be used for responses. It will be used for going out and do
No, hang on. Let me. Yeah.
I saw somewhere. Here we go. Page 2. I'm on page 2.
We've got the new station vehicle, we've got it striped. This will be maybe responding, maybe used as a backup chief's car or assistant chief's vehicle. Also, if they go out with hydrants and we have staffing, they'll be able to do it. So we will have some markers, marker lights and radio systems on it. So with resolution 23-215T015, I'm asking for approval of up to $5,000 to have Johnson and Sales install emergency lighting in our radios and in the field.
Okay, well, looks like we got a firm quote here, $4,548.90.
Yeah, I wanted to do just, there's always those overruns, so that's why I wanted to do.
That's why you want the 5,000?
Yeah.
Okay. Motion. Second, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
And lastly, we have advertised for part-timers, try to get our staffing up to at least 4 a day, a safe number, even to 5 if we can get there. We have 8 applicants now and a 9th one coming in. For part-time, we'll be testing. We also had Vaughn Permelin, who was a full-time firefighter here. He is requested to come back on a part-time basis. Chief McKean and I interviewed him when we talked to him yesterday. Been a long way, Gory. Yesterday, we had a very good talk with him about what our expectations are, and he has agreed. We think he would be an excellent person to come back because he's already familiar with stuff. So as soon as he's approved and Lisa's ready to put him on payroll, we can put it right back in the fire. So we'd like to approve resolution 23-0215T016 to rehire him as a part-time firefighter.
Call for a motion, Carl. A motion made and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 And then just on the personal note, I'll be going over this coming weekend, and then the week of the 27th to a conference. Personal time this weekend, a conference the following week. Chief McKean will be the acting fire chief However, if you need me, I'll be checking in. I'll have email, I'll be in phone contact with him both times out.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Bart, you have anything? Okay. Okay. All right, we'll go to Parks, Dave Snyder.
Yes, got three brief updates for you. Want to keep you apprised of some developments. First, pursuant to the contract, trustees have with Ron Dane, architect, architectural plans for the renovation of the restroom have been delivered. I think you just received your large copies. We've just started working on it. We do have some minor little technical changes that we're recommending, but for efficiency on this, we would like to recommend that the trustees begin the process of seeking bids based on the information that has been provided. I feel it's sufficient to begin that process. This will expedite efforts when we're trying to secure grants, this sort of thing. We're looking at this and want to be able to meet deadlines. Second, we have proceeded with our research on picnic tables to replace the existing picnic tables in the shelter area. We have a couple of really good, we feel, candidates for that. And again, because we are also working possibility of getting grant support, we want to push ahead with this and hope to have specific plans in front of you, recommendations on what we want to buy and how it's going to work at the next meeting. So I want to let you know that this is coming at you, and that again, there are these deadlines out there that I'm anticipating. And third, shifting gears a little here, completing the work at the new playground. We've been coordinating with the Bachmans and members of the Harlem Community Playground Committee. We want to help the Harlem Community Playground people exhaust the remaining balance in the money that they have raised for this. We have worked on plans here to, one, purchase a couple of small pieces of equipment that will I think will make a really good finishing touch to the new playground. We're looking at being able to put them in where they meet safety standards, all of this sort of thing. We're going to ask the Bachmans to write the check to purchase them. They'll be delivered. We're hoping the trustees will accept them, and we will then be able to schedule in time to work on getting them installed with all the other things that we're doing. And second on this, I think it's very much appropriate and fitting. I would like to see the township as a community work with the Bachmans and work on developing a memorial for John Bachman that can be placed at the site there at the new community park playground. I think this is really important that we recognize this really amazing effort by this whole community that was spearheaded by the Bachmans.
Yes, agreed. Good. Backing up just a little bit, Dave, on the remaining two items you want to put in there, is that the spring
Yes.
horses or whatever they are?
Yes, the spring riders.
Spring rider, and two of them?
We're trying to see if two will work. Right now, we're sure of one.
What's the approximate cost of those?
They're about $1,400 a piece.
Okay, so must have got the money to pay for them then.
Well, not all from Harlem Community Playground.
Understand.
They top out at 2,800.
Yeah.
The pieces themselves are 1,414 plus an anchor, which is about $200 for each. So
Can we install that?
we're looking $300-400 more than they have.
Okay, can we install it ourselves?
It can't be done by volunteers. We have a Cracker Jack crew.
No. Cracker Jack, right? Yeah, okay, good. Okay, good. So what's your desire on that then, in terms of us?
Well,
You need a approval to,
I mean, this is just off the top of my head. We haven't talked about this. But we might use all of the Harlem Community Playground money.
Yeah.
Let them fold
well, they need to.
and then add the additional amount from the 6,000 maybe. That was allotted to our
Yeah.
committee. You know, I'm
Yeah.
just throwing that out, but I don't wanna.
Yeah.
As I said, we haven't talked about this.
Well, I think Karen needs to have that money gone by the end of the year. I want to say February, maybe,
I think so. That sounds right from what I remember.
for the 501c3,
Yeah, yeah.
because it's going to expire. So you need to,
Oh, by the end of this month.
no, end of the year.
Oh,
You got some time.
no.
Yeah, we have February 2024, I think.
Yeah. I think so. No, it's February 2023, isn't it? End of this year,
This is 2023, so is it the end of this year?
end of this year. Okay, well,
This
I guess it is. I guess it is, yeah. Okay.
I thought it was next.
Well, I think
year,
it's
but-
December then, of this year. She said the end,
We need to verify.
she
that.
said the end of this year, so
Yeah.
that means December of this year,
Okay,
to me. Pretty sure I'm right.
okay.
So if you'll verify that with her, December of this year, that account needs to be gone.
I will, I'll talk with her.
Okay,
I don't want to keep pushing this aside or kicking the can down the road. I think that only is just going to frustrate people. I don't want to put a hard deadline here in front saying we just have to, but we're moving effectively right now, and I'd like us to finish this job.
agreed. Yeah. So once again, I'll ask the question, do you need us to approve that expenditure at this point?
No. I think accepting, the spring riders should just be perfunctory, and it's when they're actually shipped to here.
Okay.
I don't see a reason. I may not understand all that, but I don't see a reason for that. And then providing some leadership, giving us a direction, pointing us down the road and saying, this is the work needed for us to, the trustees, to begin looking through the details for a memorial.
Yeah.
So those are the kinds of things that are coming. I would like for the trustees to approve a motion to begin seeking bids for the restroom restoration.
That's gonna be the cost. Yeah. I was gonna say, can you,
Well,
did you guys get a chance to even review this?
We haven't
I
reviewed it yet.
I would prefer to take.
I prefer that we let our third
Yeah.
moderator see the information, and that'll give you time also to add your comments and recommendations, I think.
Yeah, cause I never heard of you guys doing any of this.
Yeah,
Nobody's talked to
Yeah,
me
we
about
just-
it.
we just got the information today ourselves, so if that's agreeable, then we can take it up next meeting. Hopefully by that time, we can take it up and give you the recommendation, approval. Okay. And I'll let you see what I got. You have you don't have an extra copy for Lisa?
Like this.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Yeah. 'Cause
It's just a total figure.
Get another copy of that.
You don't need it, you don't
Okay.
see the map right now. Okay. What the total was
19,000.
Hmm.
It was a projected,
Yeah.
but I mean, that doesn't,
And just so you know, Bart, they
19.9.
were proposing to insulate that, redo it and insulate it and heat it. So it's full-time year-round function. So,
Is there some sort of time constraint that this has to happen that it got this started? I mean, we have to have this done by a certain
I don't
time?
think so. We don't,
Because I have a couple questions, but we'll wait till next month.
yeah, yeah. There's a lot to
Yeah,
look at
it's a
there, I
lot to look
think.
at.
So, yeah, okay. All right, you, okay? Thank you. All right.
Facilities. The locks were changed at the Grange.
Okay,
We have put emails out to all parties.
Apparently the email and the timing of somebody actually reading their email kind of missed, but it was sent out.
okay, all right. So new locks
New keyed locks.
is the code on the,
The code is going to be changed on a regular basis.
okay,
The reason for this, just so everybody knows, we had brand new stoves put in. And somewhere in the first week, they got damaged. And I have no idea who was in the building. People are just going in there. They're not going in. They schedule, some people schedule, some people don't. I come to find out there were keys everywhere. So we had to take control back, and the way it's going to have to be is the keys are going to be very limited as to who's going to have a key. Organizations are going to have to get a hold of myself or Kendra to get the code that's applicable for the time they're coming in. So like the week that they're going to be there, they can call and get the code for that week. We brand new stoves got damaged, and it just. And it's, I drove by the building 3 different nights, and there were groups in there and nobody was on the schedule. So.
okay. Cemeteries, Kinder and I are working on a overlay map for the Barnhard section now that Bart's got the roads in. And once I get that, we're gonna tweak it a little bit, and then we're gonna submit it out for bids to 2 or 3 surveyors to come in and lay out the new grave sites. So that's information is forthcoming. So then we need a motion, Carl, to approve CNS restoration to pull out the old footer, damaged footer for Charles Gross. And so we can install his new footer, new what am I trying to say, marker. Thank you. So we got the one for Bud, and that needs to be, and
His is done. Leslie Bud's
they
done.
got it in now.
Yes.
Okay, okay,
We just need to do the same thing with Charles.
okay. So we'll,
Which we've got the granite and the the new bronze.
Yeah.
We just need to get the footer fixed.
okay.
So we can mount it.
And then is it going to go on a 4-inch
Yes,
slab? Okay,
yeah.
okay, all right, good. And then Stacy, you've notified him to put the new footer in next
Yes,
cycle?
we've discussed it. And
Okay.
he's the one that told me how to write it up on the footer order for when we submit it to him
Okay.
with yeah, terms just went out of my head, but yes.
Okay.
I
I know what you mean. I know the feeling. Yeah, okay, very good. Okay, need a motion, Carl, to approve CNS restorations to do the footer
Still moved.
for the this market
450.
450.
So-
Second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, I think we're down to Mr. Cannon,
Right.
finally.
Yeah, last but not least.
Wow.
First thing we want to do is that total permits, right now we stand at 8 for the year. You'll see that's 2 less than last year at this time. And the breakdown of that would be the single family residence, we had 4 last year. 4 this year, 4 last year, so we're dead even there. Accessory buildings are 5 less, we've had 0. remodeling, signage are both 0. 3 more polls than the year before, which is 4 for this year. And guess what you glean what you can from that, that's just means no, not as many single residences being built. I guess more swimming being done in the private civil homes. I anticipate those numbers to go up.
Yeah.
Obviously with everything that's happening.
Yeah.
All right, open enforcement issues, and I'll review these singly.
Yeah.
5465 Harlem Road, the complaint was debris and junk cars. Really no more additional information from Delaware County. I visited the property on 14th, took pictures, and I'm in the process of sending new letters. They're sitting on my desk right now. 5828 State Route 605, we all know this one. Talking with Corey, told him there's multiple notices sent. He does still have a little bit in the file, but not a lot. He wants me to go ahead and resend, take updated pictures, which I did, and send another letter to him. And then let me know what happens, let him know what happens with that. And then he's gonna make a decision on what he wants to do, where he wants to go. Corey being the prosecutor.
I'm sorry. Send another letter to that address or to
Send another letter, yeah.
Okay.
13122 Hatch, complaints made noxious weeds. Written letters have been issued, but the property owners deceased, who residents of occupied property are not the lawful owners. They do have a dumpster there on property, and I talked to Corey about that today. And he said, we really need to wait till that gets out of probate. So we have an actual owner that we can deal with. Because
Okay.
said you can spin your wheels, you can spin your wheels and spend a lot of time and money and find out you're not gonna get any of it back.
Okay.
3471 Green Cook Road, complaints made of junk vehicles. First notice was issued on August 3rd, 2022. I took updated pictures again on the 14th and I'm sending a notification letter that is also on my desk ready to go. 13140 Hatch, complaint made of noxious weeds on a property. First notice to be issued on 8/23/22. That was from Matt. The property really looks to be cleaned up. I've been by there twice. We do have a neighbor that's mowing that property. He actually came in here and talked to me in the hallway out there about a week ago. 16275 Lewis Road, complaints made of junk vehicles and trash. 4 notices have been issued. 10/14/20, 7/19/21, 8/18/21, 7/22, 21/22. The issue was turned over to Delaware County Prosecutor for assistance. Corey again says it's been long enough and send another letter. So I've got that pictures, new pictures and letter ready to go out again. 9602 Covan Drive. I visited the property. No answer at the door. I did speak with the neighbor and talked to her about the issues they have. Sending another letter on that. They do have a dumpster in their lawn too, or their driveway too. And talking with Corey about this, he said, give them a little bit of time, see if they clean it up, because obviously we both know just because you get a dumpster doesn't mean you're gonna use it.
Yeah.
Whether he does or not, it's gonna remain to be seen, but I'll keep an eye on that.
Okay.
12116 Center Village Road, Western Ohio, nuisance report of late night dumping. I assumed this was noise with the late night dumping. And I did talk with the guy today, the owner, and he assured me that nothing's going on there and he was not gonna be late night dumping. He's not gonna make noise. He doesn't want to have issues with his neighbors. So he has definitely said he's gonna clean that up.
Okay.
5881 Harlem Road, theft of river stones. And I talked with this resident, she realized that wasn't actually a zoning thing. So she understands it's not a zoning issue, and we did talk about some other things, and she's happy with the outcome. 5916 State Route 605, unpermitted lights on a business sign. I did speak with that resident. He did not realize he needed to have a permit for a business at his house. He came down and got a permit that day and told him he couldn't have the light and unplugged his extension cord. 12661 Woodtown Road, complained about junk cars. I went to the residence twice. No answer at the door. Nobody's there at the garage he's got. I took pictures. He's got a few cars sitting out in front of his driveway. So I took pictures. I want to send him a letter since I can't get a hold of anybody there. 6160 Harlem Road, complaint of unpermitted business. Due to there was a sign out in his driveway a couple weekends. And there was a lot of cars back in there. I went and talked to those two. the two residents there, and they've assured me there's no business. They do have there's an old horse barn out there that they turned into, you know, a personal party room, and they're just having a bunch of friends over. And the reason the sign was down there is when people would Google their house, it sent them to the road next door.
Mhm.
So they put a sign there.
Yeah.
I suggested maybe they put balloons on their mailbox instead of the sign.
Okay.
And other than that, I think I kind of pushed all the new business to the other categories, so I have nothing.
Well, thank you. We commend you for your proactive work on this, because these have been hanging fire for a long, long time.
Yeah, we need
So,
to get them off. the plate.
We gotta get them on.
I don't like stuff sitting in front of me.
Mike,
I just wanted to ask a question. We seem to continue to have this turnover with the county prosecutor's office. And I'm just wondering now, does this mean that in 3 months or 6 months, if the new prosecutor leaves, we start over again?
that's the way it's been running.
Good.
It could.
Hopefully not. Hopefully,
Yeah.
you know, he's brand new. Hopefully they don't move him every.
No, I
don't know.
understand, yeah, I know he's.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, hopefully they don't move them every 6 months or so, and I hope to get these
Our
things.
fourth one in less than 2 years.
Yeah.
Each time. With zoning first, either Inspector Matt, now it's Mike. Has to go back and do the same thing over again.
Hmm.
So at some point, I guess I would encourage you as trustees to complain to the county prosecutor about that problem. Because they're
Yeah.
contributing to the problem. I
Well,
don't mean the individual.
they are the problem.
There you go. There you go.
Just cut right to the chase. They are the problem.
So right now, I'm not saying that we should be complaining, but I
Well-
don't want to continue it and have.
Well,
it again.
depending on what Mike can get rolling here or not, Dave Jackson and I are gonna have a meeting with prosecutor. If something doesn't happen now with Mike in charge here, then we will set up a meeting with him and see what we can get worked out.
I think.
That's all I wanted.
Yeah, yeah. Cause
I
it's,
just think the key to it is to stay on top of it.
Yeah.
And we can't send a 14-day letter, which is what these are, and then wait 3 months down the road. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying
that's right.
that's not my intention. We get 14 days, give them a couple days mailing. I'm thinking, you know, the thing no later than 3 weeks, taking the next step. So I think,
That's what's gotta
I'm
happen.
afraid, you know, Mike's gonna be busy chasing the prosecutor's office.
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah. That's why he gets paid the big bucks, right, Mike?
There you go.
Okay, thank you very much. BZA, Mike. Zoning commission, but commission, nothing on zoning? Okay, okay.
We have on the agenda the approval of the employment agreement for the Director of Zoning and Development. It was submitted to the trustees via
Oh.
email.
Yeah, I did see that. It's resolution 23,
Zero,
21-5T dash 018.
okay, motion, got a
So
motion?
moved.
A second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And this is for Mike Cannon,
Correct.
okay. Need a motion, Carl, for, to appoint John Garwood as alternate to the Board of Zoning Appeals.
Jim, has John Garwood shown up yet?
What?
Okay,
Still,
so we need to table this.
Why are we not? Well,
I don't say table, I say we take it off.
I agree.
Okay,
Let's take it off our agenda, and if we could pick it up later.
I thought,
There's no need there.
I thought we did that last
We
meeting.
did. We tabled it to this meeting.
right,
I say we just take it off our agenda.
okay.
I second that. Okay. Anything else that I missed, Kendra?
Public comments.
Down here to public comments, and we're gonna go into executive session right after this
Yes,
for the purpose of, I don't see the purpose here.
well, we got a mic.
This public comment, I just wanted
Yeah.
to inquire. The road sign or street sign at the corner of Gorsuch and 605 is gone. And I don't know whether, I haven't asked far, I just thought that you may or may not even be aware of it. Yeah, maybe you know that it's missing.
They're on order.
Oh, they're already on order, thank you. Now that thing, take care of that.
Good, that was easy, wasn't it?
Quick work.
Okay, anything else from public then? Any other questions? Okay, thank you for coming. We're gonna go into executive session for the purpose of fire department.
Employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion.
Okay, very good.
et cetera.
Thank you.
Who's staying?
And we'll keep, pardon?
I don't know if we need to keep.
I'll see you later. No, we don't. Yeah. We don't need Lisa either.
Yeah.
Here's your policy.
The only piece, chief and, accountant